Greetings, fellow defenders of this backwater planet. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Anomaly Eldritch Guards. Episode 64, Maze Phase. Alright, there is apparently nowhere to haul the armor, so let's fix that. Oh, let's also... Nope, don't rip his skull out. So here will be slag and apparel that is smeltable and tainted. Smeltable, tainted apparel. Smeltable, tainted. So that there's a spot to put the gear that we're pulling off of them. So that we can smelt it down. Yeah, I still got a masterwork rifle. No complaints. I just wish I had noticed that it was not a creativity, because maybe I would have saved the material. But I would still say charged rifles, nice to have. I'm not complaining about what I got. Kind of feel bad that the Shattered Empire was definitely victimized in that attack, but like, oh well. I could, you know, I'm permitted to do stuff like that. It's not ideal, but sometimes it's needed. I'm gonna stop trying to eliminate this hallway. That's like the 4th time those light bulbs got broken. Setting up the new geothermal generator so we don't have power interruptions. All right, looking good. So ink will be out in about a week. It's not bad. And Tequila Jane's leg is getting done. Welcome, exotic goods trader. So taking a look at our materials, gold's sitting about 100. Gold's okay. Plastile's really the bottleneck. Plastile's sitting at like 0. We mostly just have steel. There was a component site that we could head to, and I was considering it, but now that we've just had to deal with a lot of attacks, it might not be time to leave the base. I think it's probably best to stay home and improve defenses. So let's see here. I don't know where my 2 Glitter World meds went, but I'll buy them just so that we can do another bioregen cycle. Thrumble horns can always be sold. The Sandy Lance would be nice to have. And then I was considering just like buying as much plasteel as I can to buffer what we need for the Dabless, so that the process can start. So there's not a lot of stuff to trade, but it's good enough. They have leg if I want to save plasteel. It's already in progress. It's actually only 18 work left, and you don't get fully refunded if you cancel it. So it's probably best if I just complete it. And it's done. Probably should have dismissed them, especially with my track record of, like, having raids prop up and attacking, like, that one. Alright. Are the scanners done? No. Mikus. It's because I don't have the... Wait, seriously? Oh, no, you don't know how to haul. Or rather, you refuse to. It's gonna be like, there's no way we don't have the materials. No, don't enter it. Ugh. Okay, so... let's start that again. And not try to jump in ourselves. They really should make that a little bit harder. So, prisoners. The one with one leg can be a soft scan. So you. So Win... we'll just call you Winwork. And then... let's see. The Pyromaniac... or Greedy Ida Painstingle? That's a name. You get to be rip scanned. Oh, how lucky you are. And we also have the lovely job of cleaning up all the corpses so they can't become zombies. Or shamblers, I should say. Which is honestly a lot of work. Well, there's a standard core. I was planning on trying to pair the Diabolus that we want to gestate with some tunnelers. Essentially, I want a bunch of tough robots to be able to help defend the colony from overwhelming melee threats. So a Diabolus and tunnelers would be a really good way to do that. Oh. About that? I can't take that call right now. I mean, if I could do 2 Diaboluses, that would be even better. But I probably don't have the bandwidth for that. And I haven't been offered a Mechanator complex or anything like that. So we're just going to get stuck with tunnelers, because they're cheaper. Yeah, extra quote-unquote brawlers does seem to be a pretty good idea. Yeah, I mean, I agree, because the void entities tend to overwhelm you with melee. And if you don't have melee of your own, you get overwhelmed as a result. So fighting fire with fire seems to be pretty ideal. And that's why I want the Diabolus. The Diabolus is also really good at, like, an opening salvo on, like, shamblers or something like that. Like, there's ways to productively use the, their giant blast. So we'll make some progress on that soon. I think what I'll do is I'm going to queue up a whole bunch of slate to be hauled. So I'm going to cancel all the haul designations right now and then just haul slate. I'll make the flame traps that I want to make out of slate. I do have a lot of marble, but I don't really want to use the marble for the traps, because marble's not a particularly tough... well, slate's not that much better. I guess I could do marble. I mean, a marble wall is 390. I mean, a slate wall and a marble wall is 360. So yeah, maybe just do marble. As odd as that sounds, I think that might be all right. So I will haul the plastic again. Difference of 30 hit points is not worth all the hauling and other stuff that needs to be done. What about deep drilling for chunks? Well, we desperately need plasteel, so that'd be a really poor use of our labor, I think. Look at this. So much cleanup. Okay, we got one rip scanned and one standard scanned, and I'm gonna do another rip scan. I probably want to just have 2 prisoners in here. Plasteel is sitting about 100, and we have made all the replacement components that we want, so yeah. This is the... Oh, so this is the used up armor. I need a new smelted apparel. So smelt apparel forever, and this is going to be tainted apparel. Anything that is tainted gets smelted, and then we should be able to get through our backlog here more quickly. It'd be even faster if we dropped it on the floor. That looks good. A charity quest. If he joins a psychic suppression, they're 15 years old. So we do believe in charity, but we don't believe in having children in our colony. So I'm going to turn that one down. If they were a little bit older, I would consider it. But they're just not old enough where I think it's appropriate to have them be part of the colony. No child soldiers. They have no place. Alright, doing the repairs. Good. Wasn't Red younger? Yeah, Red was younger, and it didn't... She, you know, almost died when the colony almost wiped. Which was eye-opening in that probably should not take on anyone that young. Plasteel is up to almost 300. Should getting pretty close. We've got 272 in the stockpile. And then another 11 up here. So yeah, any minute now we're going to have the 300 needed. So we'll turn on the large mech gestator. And then we also have the steel and components for the geothermal generator, so we don't have any more brownouts. Or at least brownouts for now. Will I remove the school stuff? I certainly could, yeah. Red doesn't really benefit from it anymore. Swanky, what is going on? What were you doing for so long that you weren't... Oh, you've been smelting things. Yeah, that's my fault. Because Red's, yeah, 18 now. So, let's get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Just takes up room. It does add some, like, beauty and wealth, but I don't need the beauty and wealth that much. And Mikas is starting the large mech gestator. So that's a pretty good indicator that we have all the materials needed, and we're getting them together. Now, another good mech to potentially gestate, paired with the Daedalus, would be a War Queen. War Queens are good at counter swarming, right? So if you have to deal with a whole bunch of organic swarming void entities, you can counter it with like urchins. Urchins don't do a lot of damage, but they certainly have a lot of numbers. So that's another thing to consider if we had the bandwidth. Oh, actually, we will have the bandwidth, right? Yeah, we will have one extra bandwidth if we did a War Queen or something like that. So I could aim for 2 Diaboluses or Diabolus and War Queen. What second large mech should Mikas make? A second Diabolus? A War Queen? Or tunnelers? I could do also multiple tunnelers. So the advantage of multiple tunnelers is it would allow us to have like quite a lot of brawling, like tough brawling mechs, which would be good for defenses. I also have 2 power focus chips. Well, it depends if we do a War Queen or not, right? Because if we do a War Queen, we're gonna want the last nano chip that we have in stock. Whereas if we do the Diabolus, we're gonna want the 2 signal chips. I don't think there's really much that I want to gestate that uses power focus chips. So the power focus chips can go towards mech improvements, like remote shielder or remote repairer. Remote repair might be nice just so that Mikas doesn't have to get his hands too dirty in the middle of combat to try to fix broken or damaged mechs. Although remote repair doesn't work very fast, so that would be the one detractor for it. So yeah, as Fangface said, a War Queen would be a good counter for some of the entities that we have not yet encountered, because I don't want to spoil it. But the same could be said for just a wall of big mechs. Like, really any amount of mechs is fine. And the Diabolus is gestating. And I will say, 1 more minute on this poll, but it looks like War Queen's going to win, which means then I could use the signal chips that I just got to make gestation processors, to speed up the process of actually making a Diabolus in the first place. Ink, you are out when? 5 days? Okie dokie. Alright. I did want to scan one more. Okay. Entity Slayer. That's going to be a problem for me, friend. So I'm going to have to hack your brain. If I could catch you. There we go. Don't be a dingus. Don't kill our entities. We need to study them so that we can counter them. He's not exactly the brightest bulb. Our brawlers are not bright. They are both Neanderthal that act before they think. Rip. Okay, so the subcore rip scanner can probably be... These both have scanning sickness. In fact, one is gonna die of malnutrition if I don't manually feed them. There you go. Fine meals? Man, you guys are getting hooked up. Still toxic buildup on those. Yeah, I was looking to see if there's any hunting that we could do, but those Muffalo are still sick from the toxic fallout. The prisoner piece is empty, I know. I'm actually Probably just going to rip scan them. But yeah, I'll put meat in there so that you can eat. I'll probably rip scan both. Wow, we do not believe in rip scans. Yeah, their brain was burned up. Execution horrible if it isn't. I guess I should have tried them. The thing is, like, they raided us. They were guilty. I just didn't rip scan them fast enough. So it was... people got upset on a technicality, as far as I'm concerned. So we are going to go War Queen. Got it. So if we do a Diabolus and War Queen, I will have one extra bandwidth. I might want to also gestate a Tunneler. And Tunnelers are 3 bandwidth, which means considering setting up one mech band node, tuning it to Mikas so that Mikas can get the War Queen, a Tunneler, and Diabolus trio. Where to put this? I'll put it over there. Seems to be a safe-ish spot. Nice. The geothermal generator is getting done. I'm going to turn off autocut. We have plenty of wood. That's weird. Cancel all designations, please, of... Oh, because it's probably not chop wood. It's probably cut plates. There it is. Okay. During the day, when the solar power panels are soaking up the sun, we have like 20k extra power. That's a lot. And we're already building up a bit of a supply of plasteel. I think initially I'm going to have some spare locust armor, but then save up for the War Queen. Almost all the corpses have been hauled. There's like 3 left. And we're hunting to fill up our meat supply. Oh, there's even a... Oh, it's rotted. Never mind. Okay, for the signal chips, before I forget, signal chips need to, or should, become gestation processors so that Mikas can gestate our Diabolus faster, because it will take a very long time to gestate a Diabolus and a War Queen without the bonuses. It already takes a very long time as it is. No need to make it longer. And now that things are slightly more back to normal, I can start to plan the maze. So, one thing that's going to be really easy to do is to just build some additional walling here and here, so that I can double insulate the west walls. The west walls tend to get breached. They've been breached so many times already, so I might as well just do that. And then the idea here is to have a maze here in this section. So something like this. So this would be the body of the maze. We would have a valid path through the middle of it. What is this? 6 on the bottom, 5 on the top. So maybe double up the walls on the bottom, like that. And then to have a fire maze going east to west, where their enter point is here. And so that void entities are very easy for us to fire kill, so we don't have to get our hands so dirty when they swarm us. And then they all plop out here, and we can have like a shooting gallery in this section. So, that's the idea. Having the entry to the geothermal generator be part of the fire maze is going to be a problem, so I'm going to want to move that entryway door so that it isn't incorporated into the same wall. And it will be slightly weird because we'll have like mixed materials, but that's fine. Okay, and then they'll come out. Oh, let's make this a little bit larger. They'll come out here, and we can brawl them here. I like the design. And the reason to keep these two sections separate, with an air gap between them, is so that if one side of the maze gets super hot, the heat can't bleed through the walls, raising the temperature of the other half of the maze to a critical point where it will self-ignite automatically, which would be really problematic, because we would not want turning one half of the maze on fire, only to have the other half of the maze on fire as a result. That would be really bad. All right, that looks good. I like the layout. And then, of course, one of the added bonuses is it doubles the wall, the western walls. And then what I can do is I can also consider like a wall like this, so that, and replace this with a functional wall instead of just fences, so that this is air gapped as well. And then to air gap this section, I don't think I really need to. I've never really had any attackers come in through here because it's through the marsh and it's just not like a valid path. But that would add doubled up walls kind of everywhere, which will keep us ultimately a lot better protected than we currently are. What void entities have we come across? Here is the codex. So we are missing one of the basics, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the advanced. Keeping in mind that this is a no spoilers stream. On my own time, I've interacted with all the entities. I've beaten Anomaly multiple times. I just don't want anything spoiled for viewers that haven't seen it yet. So I think what I could do in these sections is to have air-gapped air-gap walls just like I do in the other sections. So a forced open sandstone door with a wood door so that we can pass through it more quickly. I don't really need to do that here because this is not a pathway that I think we'll path through, but I could definitely see my people wanting to path here often. Understandable, just curious? Feel free to ask, any questions that you have. I'm truly happy to answer. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for the viewers that haven't seen all the entities yet, but apart from that, yeah. Any questions that you have, just feel free to ask. Oh, that was annoying. Put the stockpile back just so that they don't haul the marble away. What a weird use of marble as like a defensive wall. These sections here probably should be like uranium. They're going to get shot at a lot more than anywhere else. So they're going to be a lot more vulnerable as a result. And then before we put a roof on the whole thing, I should, I'm not going to want to roof it up. And then I probably also want to add in some sections that are intentionally incomplete. So that we can, access to build the barricades more easily. So I'm going to forbid pieces of it so that we can traverse around the whole maze ourselves more capably. I don't need tons of barricades, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. So that's kind of the maze. The Flaming Death Maze, yes. I can put a wooden door. Wooden door. How much granite do I have? Oh, I have enough granite. Granite door. Granite door, granite door, granite door. And granite door. Alright. The center path is going to be concreted. And then this section concreted. We're also going to want granite doors here and here. Yep. I think I'm going to opt for plasteel walls in these sections, just so that they don't break very often. It's a little expensive, but like it will pay for itself in the long run, I think. And then we can also do a concrete path out to the exit here. And then one like this. Just to speed up traversal around the base. Makes it a little easier to react and get into position for defenses. And then likewise... It's a bit of steel, but putting like a little floor pad here. And probably having it illuminated as well. So that this area is lit. Maybe with a floodlight? I'll nest a floodlight in the corner there. Because the advantage of that, of course, is we'll move faster when it's illuminated. I like it. And then it's just waiting on the hay grass to be ready to go. Which will happen in due time. Oh, add the doors to light the maze. Yes, 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 yes. 1... 2, 3. Maybe I want more than that. Just in case I want to light the whole thing on fire. I'll have doors at every close point. You are wandering, not doing anything? Mikus, for real? There's nothing that you could be doing right now? Make advanced components up to 20. There. Get to work. Do we already have the... Did I do the gestation processing? Yes. Okay, Mikus, stick this in your head. And then the other thing that we could do is to give TJ the leg that she is due. I think Sea Panda has an inspired surgery, so that sounds like a good use of an inspiration to me. Operate. Alright, and this is going to be tuned to Mikus. Done. So Mikus, you should have 3 spare... Yeah. So another War Queen will raise you up from 9 to 14. Oh no, I miscalculated. So I could either get rid of a lifter or make another band node. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I don't think it's important for us to figure that out now, because it's going to be a very long time till I even have the War Queen in the first place. No door between the maze and the farm? What do you mean? Oh, you mean here. Yes. I ought to have a door there. as well. Probably one that is wood and then also stone. Just like I do with the rest of everything else. A lot of construction projects, and it seems like I am out of steel, so I need to remedy that. So we have a pretty... Ooh, hello, prison break. Well... I kind of don't blame them, considering I'm, scanning them to death. But it's not to say that I'm going to let them go. Devil Eyes, you're probably not going to be needed. Go back to smash that. And once they lose their scanning sickness, I'll just... Oh, you're not even scan sick. So win work. Don't worry. That's the last prison break you'll ever make. I figure with everybody upset for rip scans, I might as well just, like, get all the rip scans done. Plus, they just tried to escape, so they're guilty. So there's not even going to be a penalty for doing this one. Because they tried to break out. Debated. And if I'm fast, I can kill the other one without penalties as well, because he's also guilty for 24 hours. So start the scanner. And for that, I'm going to need a little bit more steel. Which we are trying to get off of slagging. And then, in the meantime, what I could do is move the deep drills over here to hit this steel. So we have a decent amount of plasteel right now, but our steel is basically 0. Alright, Guero, let's have you move the drills. So any of the stone that is in the way, I'm going to want to remove so there's no terrain blockers in or around our maze. It's definitely a big project, but it will pay for itself like tenfold once it's done, I think. Just because of how damaging the advanced void enemies can be. Definitely got to prepare for it. Looks like just the one waste pack atomizers more or less been able to keep up with the demands of the pollution that we generate. Might change a little bit once the Diabolus gets gestated and the Workwing gets gestated, depending on how often they get destroyed. But at least for now, it seems to be finding a good, happy medium there. In worst case scenario, we could always summon in some additional Apocryton. I'm pretty sure we could handle that. Let's not resow the cotton field. You are guilty for 7 more hours. Oh, but you have scanning sickness. Ah, alright. I'll probably just wait for them to have another prison break and then execute them via the rip scanner. To avoid the mood penalties. Why not? My My goodness. Look at the Harbinger tree trying to like outgrow onto the ambrosia. I wouldn't trust that ambrosia if I were you guys. It's probably not very good. The debuff said ×2 rip scan guilty because I had executed 2 people who were innocent with rip scan. It would have said ×3 if that new person was innocent. So no, that isn't a problem. Just to keep the horses out of trouble, I'm going to put a new wall here, or a new fence here, and then I can get rid of the walls here, which will allow my own attackers to be able to come to that point a little bit faster. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Anomaly Eldritch Guards, which originally streamed live on Twitch June 21st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow guardsmen.